Well, welcome back, our faithful and loyal spirit watchers. Tonight's going to be a really, really special show. We're going to have some special guests on. Before we introduce them, they are waiting backstage. We just want to do updates and that again on the Old Stone Jail. We are open right now for business. We are booking. Please go online at stonejail.com. We are doing overnights. We are doing limited investigations. We are doing flashlight and daylight tours. Now, there's been some confusion about the tours itself. Daylight tours are in the morning during the morning hours, and they include the entire building, but not the basement and the dungeon. If you do a flashlight tour, that will include the original daylight tour plus the basement and the dungeon, and you will need a flashlight because especially if it's supposed to be rainy and that, like it's calling for this weekend, that entire jail gets dark, so the dungeon and the basement gets real creepy.
Yeah, we can't stress that enough. People just don't realize how dark some of those spots are in there. So just
and guys, anybody that comes for a tour, we will not have a problem if you bring like an EVP recorder or an EMF or something like that. EVP might be a little hard considering that we will be talking during the tour, but anything like that. And please feel free to take pictures, ask as many comments, and different things like that. So, without further ado, I don't want to have our guests waiting. We like asking local paranormal groups to join us. Now, this group has not been at the jail yet, but we are so darn excited to meet them and have them on as our guests. They seem like a very, very, very sweet couple. So we are going to bring them on right now. So everyone, Dark Hollow Paranormal, here they come. Whoops.
oh, oops.
There you go. Hi, guys.
How are you?
How are you tonight?
Doing
We're
good.
doing great.
I'm glad that you were able to make it. I know we had an appointment one time before to have you on and we had to cancel. I do apologize about that.
That's fine.
But it is so nice to meet you guys.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you guys.
So, what have you guys been up to lately? What can you tell us?
We are just getting back from our paranormal honeymoon, actually.
Oh, that's right. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. My daughter just got married in May, my other daughter.
Oh, there you go.
Much congratulations to you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we had a ball.
Yeah.
Great. Did you explore any good places?
Yeah, did we? Go ahead. You want to start up?
First, we hit Sweet Springs Sanitarium in West Virginia.
Yep. Then afterwards, our second one was Fairfield County Infirmary.
Oh.
Then the third one
was the Monroe House in Indiana.
And then we finished off at the Ross House in Bel Air, Ohio.
Oh my goodness, you guys hit some really, really cool places.
Oh, we hooked up the 27-foot camper and pulled it all across halfway across the U.S. and turned around and came back home.
The only way to go, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I think we're each going to take turns asking questions. Now, what we're going to do also is we're going to try to have the audience hold off on some questions so that towards like the end or something, we can just have all the questions because this is your night. This is focused on you. We want to try to introduce the locals and bring more recognition to them. So I'm going to have Eric, which is also part of the Lurking Spirits team. You don't see him too often on here, but he'll start with the initial question for you.
So how did you two get started in doing paranormal investigations?
I'll let you go first.
I started back in 2012. I started out with another group. And then in 2014, I formed Darkhollowparanormal. And I had a couple members come and go. And then Angel joined my team in 2021. And since then, we've added about 10 new members.
Wow.
Since then, you want to say how you got started with the paranormal?
I got started, obviously, our famous urban explorations, and I would say officially, honestly, after Little Angel, our oldest, 2012. started investigating, and I ended up working with a paranormal company. Became their trainer for the East Coast of the United States. And
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
thank you. And then it was very fun, very fun. And our paths crossed, and 2 weeks of a marriage later.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There you go. There you go. That is really, really, really awesome. Did you guys have any like personal experiences that kind of got you in that interest?
Yeah, for me it was I grew up in a haunted house. When I was 6 years old, my family moved, and we started experiencing paranormal activity in the house. And my parents, of course, like didn't want to scare me, so they kind of made it sound like it was in my head because they thought that it was more comforting to make me think that I was making it up rather than admit it. And so that went on until I was about 18 years old. And then we moved out of that house. And at that point, my family finally admitted, like, yeah, there was a lot going on in that house. And then they did later admit that they knew that there was a death that had taken place in the house. And we kind of talked about it after that. But that experience growing up intrigued me with the paranormal, and I wanted to know more. So I think I was always intrigued by the paranormal after that. And then it was just in 2012, I just met up with people that had a team, and I joined their team, and then I started investigating. So for me, that's how it started for me. And then I'll let you tell your story.
My background starts from my childhood. I come from a Hispanic background. My mother's from Mexico. My father's from Puerto Rico. So spirituality was very much talked about and like accepted in our household back in the lower 90s and stuff, not to age drop or anything. And we were very accustomed to hearing things go knock and seeing things. And my great grandfather, God rest his soul, who I'm actually named after, I'm first generation here in the United States. He had a gift. And he, instead of teaching you, rocking you back and forth, expressing the fear, he was expressing that let's talk to them. Let's figure out what message they have. Don't be afraid. Like, if they're coming to you, it's because they're attracted to your energy, and they might have a story. They might have a question. They might need help. So that progressed. So it was always normal for me, the paranormal field and spirituality. I'm a big energy buff. And like I said, we started going in houses and stuff as a kid, and we just progressed into bigger and better things, into teams. And like I said, I was blessed to start working in the field, and now we are just rocking and rolling on our team. So
you were lucky to be raised like that, because yourself, so many people, they're skeptical of the paranormal, and which is understandable.
Yeah.
When you grow up in a background like that, and that's the culture, I wish more people understood, all these debunkers and everything, and that, but it does exist. You take Native Americans, and like you said, your background, they've all experienced that. They firsthand had interaction, and when you're taught like that at such a young age, I think that's incredible.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing, and it was like the foundation of where I am today in the paranormal field. Absolutely.
Very, very awesome.
Is there any place that you guys haven't been that you'd like to explore?
Okay, so I'm gonna go first because this is my favorite question. I swear I'm gonna hit it, and I feel it any year now. The one place when I was a child that always fascinated me. I was raised in Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, Virginia. So like Civil War, slavery history, anything like that, I'm all for. My favorite location that's always intrigued me with all my heart is the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana.
Oh my gosh!
Say again?
No, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
That I remember being a child. We were watching the History Channel, and then of course we had something back in the day called Scariest Places on Earth, and this famous photo of the famous spirit called Chloe. I know there's been a lot of stuff being brought up with her recently. That's fine. Keyword of investigator is to investigate. I will figure out the truth or not. But I saw that photo of her standing on the siding and wondering, how is this woman here with the bonnet? And I could see her, but I could see the house behind her. And I told myself from that very moment when I was a child, I'm going to stand in that position one way or
I'm
another.
telling you, it's so awesome that you said that, because a few years back, see, we lived in South Carolina for about 10 years. I was born and raised here in Pennsylvania, but we moved to South Carolina, then we moved back. But when I was down South Carolina, my husband and I we booked for Myrtle's plantation.
No way.
We couldn't go because it was during COVID. So
No
COVID kind of
way.
ruined it for us. And I'm like,
that would have
yeah. We were going to take the ghost tour down there. We were going to go to Myrtle's, which.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Get there. And then my love, what's your favorite?
For me, it's Eloise Asylum.
There you go.
Where's that at?
That is in Westland, Michigan.
He's been there, but I
spent 4 nights there. That place was so big; it had its own post office, its own zip code, fire department. I think I don't know how many buildings are still standing now, but the main building, I stayed there 4 nights.
Oh my goodness!
It was nothing short of amazing. Absolutely nothing short of amazing.
We're going to have you back sometime. You're going to have to share some of your clips from your footage that you got from some of those, or maybe if you got a really, really good EVP or something that you'd like to share. Yeah, I would love to hear some more history and that of the places you guys have been to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we just had a door open closed by itself at Monroe House,
and we caught it on video. We showed it all over our Facebook, and it didn't only just close once.
It closed like 3 times.
It closed 3 times, and the only place I've ever seen that was Hillview Manor. The first time I ever saw a door shut in my eyes, and that was crazy. That was just our honeymoon. It's still killing me because like last night I'm in the shower brushing my teeth, and I'm like, man, it was just a week ago I was sitting there at Monroe House. So,
oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys have been to a lot of really cool locations.
We're blessed.
Yeah, you definitely are. Goodness. I know there was a house that we was living in. I don't want to give the location because it's privately owned, but there was something weird and off about that house. And my husband and I, the bedroom to the master bedroom, they kept the door padlocked for some reason all the time. And when we moved in and rented it, we took the padlock off, and that was our bedroom. Well, at first nothing really happened, but after maybe we were in there a couple months or so, we'd be in the middle of the night and we'd be sitting on bed and we'd talk and stuff and that, and we're sitting there, and the one night we hear like click, creak, and the door opens. And then we hear it creak, and we hear it slowly going, almost close, but then open again. We watched this darn door do that. I promise you, I'm not shitting you. If you don't mind the language, I'm not shitting you at all. Probably for 2 hours, we watched this door, and you don't think anything because we really weren't in the paranormal field or anything at that time. We're doing investigations. If we would have had that on video, it was phenomenal. It would literally, you could hear it close, you could hear the click, then you could hear it click again. And I look at him, he looks at me over there, you're shitting me, right? And we're looking over him. We're like, should we even be in here anymore?
We had the Monroe House. We actually had that issue with doors closing. We walked through the house, and the beautiful thing about them is that Eddie and Pam, shout out to them, they hook you up. They're actually phenomenal people. And they put bells on all their doors. And we actually walked through the kitchen and checked 2 closets. We wanted to know what was in them. And I see Lindsay just kind of like back up into a room, and she's like, "Did you do that?" And I turn and look, and the kitchen door was closed. But not only was it closed, latched, and the bell didn't ring at all.
Oh my goodness!
And that was like strike 1, and then the other door closed 3 times. And the beautiful thing about that is, when it first closed, we turned off the AC unit, and of course we had the overhead fan. And then Lindsay was telling the spirits, like, you can move, and I promise I won't record you. I shit you not. The door closes again, and that's when we started whipping out. I actually whipped out my phone and caught it. But then you know, of course, the first thing we're thinking, I love her with all my heart. She's a debunker. People hate her for it.
You have to though, because
You have to approach it scientifically. So
yeah.
scientifically, we approached it and we set up a camera and set it right towards the door. We went upstairs and we did an Estes session. We were up there. The camera has it. I'm waiting for Cody Sharp Side of the Paranormal. He was with us. The camera read 1 hour and 6 minutes. After our Estes session, we came down, and the whole time we were live, we kept peeking down the stairs like, oh, door's still open, guys. Like, it's not the wind. It's not the fan. We turned the AC unit off. 1 hour and 6 minutes later, all three of us come downstairs, and we're doing the whole, you know, kick and caboodle, like, hey, that was a hell of an Estes session. Like, what the hell were these answers? All of a sudden, I see Lindsay like a kangaroo jumping around wherever the hell we were, putting us in between it. And sure as shit, I turned around, that damn door closed again after 1 hour and 6 minutes for the.
But you didn't have the camera on it then, yeah? Did you?
We had the camera on it. The
Oh
camera,
my gosh.
good.
watching the camera that we had set up was videoing that door for 1 hour and 6 minutes as it did not move. And then when we come down at the 1 hour and 6 minute mark, it closed by itself again.
Wow.
Oh, that is wild.
It is insane. And needless to say, she did.
And we opened it back up again, and we were there for another like 4 or 5 hours investigating, and it never closed again.
Never closed again.
With the AC running and everything, it never closed again.
Absolutely.
But see, Lindsay, I'm like you. I mean, as paranormal investigator, what makes you a good investigator is you do have to debunk everything that's there, or try to, while you're investigating.
Yeah.
And when you go home and you review your tapes, you're there. Okay, now we know what we couldn't debunk there, but maybe there's something we didn't see, but it's on camera. So you try to debunk it on camera. But then, I love debunkers and I love the professionals and that. But I've said over and over and over on some of our channels, professionals, they can have all the book work, all the knowledge, all the experience, but most of the debunking they're doing is in an office or in a room in their own building. They're not there with you when you're doing that investigation. So I don't care how many degrees you have, how professional you are. If they're not there with you when that's happening, how do they have the right to say, oh, I can tell you how that happened?
Trust me, we've been here long enough to where we tell people, hey, go over there and do it yourself.
Try to
do it.
Try to duplicate it. If you can duplicate it, then it's not paranormal. If you cannot duplicate it.
We welcome that 100%. I look forward to that because I'm same way, vice versa. We hear a story like that, I get jealous. I'm like, okay, it's my turn. I want to see it.
Right, yeah.
And you know yourself too, as paranormal investigators, you might go to a place one time and something's going to happen. You go to the same place the next time, nothing's going to happen. But you can't just automatically say, okay, that person's full of shit because when I was there, that didn't happen. So, or I can prove that there must have been a breeze going through that hallway that day or something. I respect the debunkers and all their book knowledge and scientific method, but even when you go to school, when you learn scientific method, you learned in a controlled area and there's a certain hypothesis.
Common denominators, everything like that.
Exactly. So, but
we're all for it. Bring it on. Like, come find out for yourself. We welcome all of that.
Do you use any apps?
So this is where you're gonna find out we're not the biggest keen on apps.
There's one app that I do trust, and it's the Phasma box, and you can only get it on a Windows device. And the only reason that I trust it, and I didn't trust it at first, I had to use it multiple times to gain that trust. I trust it because of how consistent it is. Like, if you're asking a question, it's giving you a direct answer. Like, what's your name? Sam. What's the probability that it just spits out a name when I ask for a name? And the fact that it will give, like, we've gotten factual information. We've gotten documentation, historical documentation that we can back up that correlates with it. So I've learned to trust that app. Recently, people have been talking about the Spirit Talker app. We just downloaded it. And we're testing it out. I wouldn't say that I trust it.
Yeah, I'm not dismissing it.
But I'm testing it out. And
I can tell we use the Spirit Talker and we use Necrometer. No,
Okay.
we're not sold on either one of them. So, we're not saying, hey, yeah, they work. But sometimes we've used them where they're saying, oh, shit, you're just grabbing.
Yeah.
Other times, so I can tell you,
Yeah.
we've had things that came out associated with questions we asked or the place that we was investigating spot on. And not only would it answer the same question once, but we would get duplicate answers exactly.
See, that's cool. That's all respect.
That's the kind of stuff that I look for when I test out.
We were at the Ross house. And that was actually big on immigrants. The woman, her name is Cindy. Phenomenal history tour of that place. Please go check it out if you haven't been. And she was telling us about immigrants, and it was very prominent. And they actually had old school postcards that said, "Hey, a wife is waiting for you here in Bel Air, Ohio." And we did test out the spirit talker, and all of a sudden we started getting boat, and that's how the immigrants came in. And then it was settlement. That's what people were doing. So things like that is kind of oh shit, is this thing obviously it doesn't know that, it doesn't know where we are, but stuff like that's pretty cool.
Gabriella can testify. One time we was here at night, because we just moved into this house. It's just been a little over a year and a half that we've moved here in this house, and we've had some kind of questionable things already here.
Yeah.
The one night I was kind of depressed. I was thinking of my mom, because my mom passed away several years ago. And I had her on my mind, and we decided to test the spirit talker out to see if we could get anything come up in here. And Grace came up. That's my mother's name.
Oh, wow.
So it was here I am, we were thinking, and I was real sad and thinking about my mom. And her name happened to come up, and just like I said, we don't bank on it because there's so much things about both of those apps that you can debunk, but there's times that you have to put that big question mark, say, hey,
how the hell did that happen? I hear you, without a doubt. Like I said, we don't knock on anything. We'll put it in our hands and find out the truth for ourselves.
Yep. And I admire you for that, because, nobody should question what you experienced yourself. And I hate when people come up and you caught something or you saw something.
And they shit on your parade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, but it's
part, and you know what? You gotta take the good with the ugly, right?
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Eric, you want to ask any?
Let me think of something good I want to. What would you say is the one thing that you've captured or you've personally experienced that even today you're like, did I really experience that? And oh my God, that was just so overwhelming.
So we're probably gonna have the same answer, but it happened to us at different times.
I guarantee it.
The biggest thing that has happened to me in my paranormal career happened to me at the Crescent Sanatorium in prison. Angel and I actually worked there before its closure.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I started out as a volunteer.
That was home.
Yeah, for us, that was home. That's actually where we met. He was working for an event company that was contracted there, and I was a volunteer there. We both ended up being tour guides there and was running the paranormal up there.
We actually were the first employees.
We were actually the first employees, yeah. And so I was up there during an event one night that Angel was actually running, and I was there as a volunteer helping. And I was in the chapel in the prison, and what I saw was this non-human creature crawl out from the top of the doorway in the chapel and crawl under the ceiling.
Didn't somebody one of the more known teams go there or something to say they caught something very similar?
You're talking about Project Fear.
You're talking about Project Fear, and also known as Destination.
That's right. Chelsea got that.
And
she was on that episode.
I was on that episode, and I
telling
told
the story.
That story.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
So they caught in the end of the tunnel going into the schoolhouse. I believe they zoomed in, facing the basketball courts, and on the top left you could see the shadow figure. And they, I think, conducted the measurements. Said it was it had to have been 9 feet tall.
Big, yeah.
Be up there. But
I will definitely be rewatching that episode.
I thought I
Yeah.
recognized you from somewhere because your face looks so familiar. I just couldn't picture where it was from. I was like, she was on something that
You know-
Yeah, I was on that episode. It
He
was
was married a movie star.
it's not done though. It's not done. She saw all that.
Yeah, so it crawled on the ceiling, and I ran out of the chapel and tried to gather myself. And my friend followed me out, and I'm trying to like get my composure so I could go back in there and face it. And as we're standing there talking, it crawls out the back door and onto the roof.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
I was frozen solid, and I actually lost like bits of time. There's parts of that night that I don't remember. My friend tells me that I stopped talking, and I don't know, it could have been fear. I'm not saying that part of it was paranormal, but I like stopped talking. I wasn't answering her. She kind of had to coax me and get me to walk back to the visitor center. I do remember part of the walk back to the visitor center and feeling like there was something on my back. And I told her, I said, it's on my back. I feel like I'm giving it a piggyback ride. And to this day, I can almost still like feel it, like feel it breathing like in my ear. And we went out to the car and immediately saged. And while she was saging me and saying a prayer, we heard a growl in the parking lot.
So as
Oh
it
my
happens,
goodness.
I'm the head of the event. I probably have. I mean, I used to run events from it could have been 2 people to 118 people there, and I was the head of it. And I get something on the radio that 2 women have fled down to another building, to our visitor center, and we were just friends at the time. And we run down there, we finish our session, we go, and lo and behold, I see her, and she's like a ghost. She looks like she done seen a ghost. And I was like, that was you? And like, she told me what happened. And I was like, holy shit. Because prior to this, and I'm not saying just like a week ago, like a month and a half before this happened, I was in a building called Building F. I was with a psychic medium, and I'm not going to sit here and call myself psychic. I always tell everyone that everyone has a gift, whether you open
I
that
believe that.
and how wide that door's open is on you. Some days I am very on. It's like a vision in my head. Sometimes I've looked at her and it's like I'm looking at through someone's eyes, and I could say, hey, that cat ball is going to light up. Sure as shit. 2 seconds later, it'll light up, and then there's some days I'm off. Like it's just here and there. Regardless, I'm with 2 other psychics, and we have a group of probably 10, 11 people with us. And I'm not going to say I'm like the hero of the group, but I definitely love being away and being in the dark and being in that dark presence. It was like any other movie. I'm looking down a hallway. I have people all the way to my left with a psychic medium. Her name is Beth Moore. She's phenomenal. And it's just like Lindsay was talking about. I saw it just these long fingers, like upside down, like slap, and pull itself around a corner. And the best way, and I've always explained it this way, in any interview I've ever done about it, it looked like a human tadpole. It was muscular with a tail, and it just a smooth head. But the only thing that was different about our experience, it came down the hallway and was probably about, no more than 5-10 feet away from me. And it upside down, like pushed itself down to where it was almost eye level. And it had these red glaring eyes. I kid you not. Okay. And I'm sitting there, and it's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, I know this is dark energy. I will never say the D word. It's just a darker energy. And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my God, am I going crazy? It's one of these moments where you're just like, is this serious? Like, there's, like, I don't think people that smoke a strong bag can see like that. Just like, and I'm kind of doing one of these numbers, and the psychic medium that was down the hallway, I said, Beth, and she goes, yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to sound crazy, guys, because I'm the leader of the group. I'm never gonna freak out in front of my guests. But I'm like, Beth, there's something in front of me right now. She's like, I know, and it has red eyes. And I looked at all them, and it was like, guys, it's time to go. And just like Lindsay said, it was one of those things where you know, when you run up the stairs and you got the booty poking ghost, like I felt like it was right behind me. And me and Lindsay have actually, when we first started taking our walks around that place, we've been in that very building where we thought we've heard apps come on, and we've heard 3 people talking in a hallway where we get ready, like, hey, okay, ready, we're going to open the door and announce ourselves, like, hey, guys, we're down here, don't freak out. And we open the door, and there's no one there. So, I mean, that was like our holy grail of the paranormal field, our time at Crescent Sanatorium Prison. We were actually supposed to get married there in the chapel that she saw that in.
Oh my.
And to make it even better, those 2 buildings were connected through a tunnel system. So we 100% believe. And the other building that Destination Project Fear saw was also connected through the same tunnel system that we both saw. I guess all.
So you think that it's associated with the tunnel? Then that's something. That's kind of where it.
Oh, she saw.
I think that it uses the tunnel system
to get around. 100%.
Because, people have not seen it in the other buildings that are not connected to the tunnels, because not all the buildings are connected.
Yeah, not all of them. There's a lot of people that said they were. They're not.
Not all of the buildings are. There's only 4 buildings that are connected by the tunnel, and it's only been seen in 3 of those 4, actually.
Yeah.
Now, what side of is that, on the sanatorium side or the prison side?
So you have the sanatorium.
It's all sanatorium buildings.
Yeah, it's all
of them are sanatorium buildings. Yeah.
Sanatorium, the building 5 was the original building, and then you have the chapel, and then you have building F, and then you have the Maple House, which is called the schoolhouse. Yeah. So those 4, it's just literally you can get anywhere with those.
Yeah, it's not been seen in the jail buildings.
No, not at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I would have pooped my pants.
It was so scary.
I hate, there have been.
And we had several guests after that report hearing something crawling on a ceiling, but not actually seeing
the
it.
Closest thing I got is there was a group that contacted me and you, and they had SLS
in the tunnel,
in that very tunnel, and got figure crawling.
They got 2 of them. They saw 2 figures crawling on the ceiling in the tunnel, but they weren't recording it because the SLS doesn't record, and they didn't have another camera recording it, so they didn't have anything to show us. But they told us about it. They said, "Do you have things that crawl on the ceiling here?" And we're like,
we were just like, boom, like, yeah, we do. Matter of fact,
Oh my goodness,
it became an addiction. It became an addiction, like seeing that thing. Oh my God, it was like a goal every time. I think we just wanted to figure out what it was. And we had a psychic one time talk to Lindsay. We were at a Penhurst Paracon, and came up with this beautiful theory of, I call it beautiful because we're psychos, but a self-manifestation of the negative energy there. Like, it created itself.
All the negative energy on the property manifested itself into a conscious being. And she even said that, like, it was like a shapeshifter. It was taking on different forms to different people. And that's true, because Angel and I saw something very similar, but different, but a little bit different. Right. Like, you saw red eyes. I didn't see eyes at all. Someone else said that they saw something crawling, but it almost looked like a deformed nurse that was crawling.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Seen different versions of it without seeing the exact same version.
We had a buddy of ours that went in that building and said, I don't mean to sound weird, guys, but I see red eyes over this top of this door frame, though. And we were just like, oh man, that's our buddy.
Well, you know what that sounds like a very, very good logical explanation, you know, because there's so much history at that sanatorium. And if you figure all that time, if they are all going together and filling, and there's a lot of negative energy in there because of what happened in there. Absolutely. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eric, do you have anything yet? Okay, now I know, to change the subject just a little bit, you guys are going to be part of the Parunity Paracon?
Yes.
So how would you like to talk about that for us?
Yeah, why don't you talk about it?
So we decided, there was a group of investigators that came together and decided, you know what, there's just been a lot of negativity in this past year and a half. It's been a little rough in the paranormal field. There's just a lot of naysayers. And so we're very proud to be very known now in the paranormal field known as the people that we don't deal with the drama. People actually come to us for our positivity. I mean, we are all, there's a big saying that I say is love, peace, and bacon grease. You know, something, people go through good things, they want to call us. You know what I'm saying? And like we share like the excitement and like we just all like pure love, and we want to share the knowledge and the fundamentals of the paranormal field with everyone. So we all came together and said, you know what? Let's do our own Paracon. And let's do it right here in town in Nanny Glow, right? We have our haunted theater. And so we have over 15 vendors, paranormal investigators. We have special guests, Paranormal Theory. They're going to be guest speaking. We're going to have speakers. We're going to be doing speaking. We're going to be doing demonstrations. All teams, they're bringing all sorts of merch. We have people bringing sweets. We have a food truck. The Dicker Farms, they're coming between 12 and 6. We have the whole alleyway closed off. And I mean, we're just going to have, it's just a very like big shindig showing everyone that we could still have para-unity without the drama. And we have people from Jersey to Ohio to West Virginia we have someone that as of 2 days ago, he couldn't show up, but he's sending one of his daughters from Kentucky all the way to us. It's our first year doing it, but it's something that like we value like very much.
And all proceeds go to the historical society that owns the haunted theater. They're trying to get heating and air in the theater so they can finish their renovations. They want to turn it into a museum. So all proceeds from the vendors and from the tickets, it's all going to the historical society to help them with
this
that.
Is all straight.
Do you have tables or anything left there? Or are you all booked up?
No, we still have.
Yeah, we still have tables.
We still have vendor spots.
Because my son-in-law is supposed to be contacting to get a table and that set up so we can have a booth there. I guess I sent him the information that you sent me in the email.
Yep.
Yeah.
We still have. We have a couple indoor spots left and a couple
some outdoor
spots.
I mean, we're gonna make it like a good little shindig. We have live podcasting. A woman who's gonna be broadcasting here live. Her name is Brianna, and then her partner Rebecca is actually going to be joining us off and on throughout the day, and she's broadcasting it in Canada.
Wow.
So, like, it's so good. So, basically, it's just, like, come together. We set it to, we don't care if there's 2 people that come. We don't care if there's 200 people that come. We just want to show everyone that regardless of all the bullshit going on, like, we can come together and show everyone a great time.
I love this that you're doing that, because that was my big fear. We were just talking about this not too long ago with all the negativity and all the drama. They're like, I was asking our team and I was asking other teams, I'm there, do you think that's going to hurt the paranormal field overall? And in some ways, yeah, I think it has already hurt, because now everybody's questioning everybody what they're doing.
Right.
And in some ways it might be helping. And that's why I know, like with you being on tonight, and on Tuesday we had the group that toured the jail the other night. We want to reach out to the locals, and we want to bring them, because it's like you said, para-unity. We want everybody to. We want to try to mend all this bad rep. That all that negativity came about from all this drama. I mean, you know what's going on. The big thing. It's kind of just like.
There's a whole bunch. I mean, it goes anywhere from location drama. It goes everywhere from, we don't
over success.
Yeah, fighting over success. Like, everyone has to be on this pedestal. There's no pedestal. We're in the paranormal. Like, I look at someone and I tell you this crazy ass story. I'm not going to be an asshole and say, I'm not going to tell you where it is. I'm not going to tell you the money prices. I'm going to say, hell no. I want to say, guess what? Get your team's asses out there and experience it yourself. Share it.
I don't care if you have 2 followers or 2 million. I'm going to treat
But see, that's what we've been saying. It's like, it seems to me like after people get to a certain point, and I got this many views. You know what? Now I can get 10,000 views. Now I can get 20. That's not what it's all about. It's supposed to be the passion you have inside.
Yeah, we were just on our honeymoon. We started off from what we were doing. We were doing the TikTok thing for a little bit, and we went from getting 60 likes to one time we got 1,000 likes, and we had 60 viewers, and we were tickle pink, and then all of a sudden on our honeymoon we were getting 22,000 people viewing us and 200,000 likes. And then we were telling everyone, they're like, are you doing this every day? This and that. And like, we were like, hey guys, like, God bless y'all. We appreciate everything, but we're not doing this for the followers. I'm not doing this for the likes.
Yeah.
We want to show the people that unfortunately can't come and investigate or are just need that little bit of oomph to come out and become that investigator that we believe in them that they can be. And that's all we care about.
Yeah.
And then keeping this attitude, that's why people love us. God bless everyone who supports us. We're able to go to anywhere, to Indiana, to play. And then for even people to be like, hey, y'all are Dark Hollow. It's just like
how do you know me?
we're more proud of that than anything. If you
Whoa.
were at this place and you were at this place, but I'm just like, yeah, can you say my name one more time?
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
And it is, you know, I mean, you're getting some recognition, but the bottom line is, like you said, it's about the passion and wanting anybody else getting into the field to have that same type of passion and be genuine about it.
Keyword para-unity. Para-unity. We can all come together and share the wealth.
Exactly.
And if you ain't about it, keep on trucking down the road, but still let me know what your favorite locations are.
Other than the Paracon and that, what are your plans? Like, I know you have Myrtle Plantation. If you go there before I get there, I'm going to be really jealous. Especially since we had that baby book that we couldn't do.
I can't believe that. That is pulling on my heart. I just had a chest implant put in, and that thing started to beep a little hard for you. So this year has been rock on for us so far. So what we have for the rest of the year, we have Pennhurst. We have our Paracon. The very next day, we're going to be at Pennhurst. And
wow.
I've been there 4 or 5 times. She's going to be there for like her 3rd, 4th time, but she gets to investigate it. So I'm super excited for Mama. And then, what is it? October, we're trying to put together a little something where we got married. We're in the talk about hosting an event locally in Gallitzin. And then November, we have shout out to Daniel Bonner and his wife Jenna. We are the Rainsworth Lodge in Gettysburg. We're going to be staying there. December, we have Skeen Manor. We got that as a wedding gift. Residual Haunts, Jackie, Kurt, and Emily. They blessed us for our wedding day. They booked it for us, so we're going to go there as well. And then we always do a Christmas event for a team. Our team Christmas event. Excuse me. We're going to be in the Heyman House in Sutton, West Virginia. So
have you ever been to the Hinsdale? I've heard like goods and bads about the Hinsdale. What can you tell me?
Yeah, so I've been there twice. Angel's been there once. We're laughing because we almost got married there.
Really?
Yeah. So
list grew.
The wedding originally was going to be at the Crescent Sanatorium in prison, and then the property dispute put a big damper on that. So we were like, we want another haunted location to have our wedding at. So we were going to do the Hinsdale house, and we were going to do an outside wedding, and we got Daniel Klaus's blessing, and everything was great. We had everything booked, and then the guest list got a little out of control. 30
went to 60, 60 went to 90, and then
we were up into 100s, and then parking became an issue, and we were going to have people up there, and then you're talking about one bathroom in the old farmhouse. So it wasn't that we didn't want to have our wedding there. It's just we had too many people to invite. It wasn't an appropriate location for a wedding.
Paranormal wise, though, we had great Estes there. We had great trigger objects. They loved the mag light when we were there. Cat balls. Lindsay actually did a badass.
Can I stop you right there for a second? Mag light. You said mag light.
Yeah.
Do you use it with the yes and no where you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We've used it to where we've said, the blue mag light, you're the prisoners. Prisoners answer with this one. Pink mag light, you're the guards. Please answer with this one.
And you've had success with it, correct?
We've had very much.
Yeah, so have we. But you get a lot of people that say, "Oh, that's foolish."
They will.
And
we actually did an event at the Gallitzin Ballroom where we had our reception, and the commander came with us one night and went to Lindsay after we had a phenomenal yes and no session, and he goes to Lindsay and he was, what did he say? He said, "Can I see this thing?"
I see your mag light? I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead and look at it." And he takes the whole thing apart.
He says,
takes the batteries out, goes like this, and he's like, "It's just a flashlight."
We're like, "Yeah."
And I was like, "Yeah, I bought it at Walmart." And he was like, "But it works." And I was like, "I know."
And he's like,
well,
he's like, I've never been so scared of this shit, and I've been shot at.
Well, and you know yourself, there's going to be times that it's going to flash on and off on its own.
Yeah, of
You're
course.
like, okay,
Yeah.
it's just, it's not fixed right. So you go reposition it. I know a couple of our investigations that we were at, if you zoom in real close with the camera, you can you can see the beam.
Our favorite.
Yeah, and that's how we test. Well, wait a minute. How sometimes you can see that beam and it'll turn that mag light so tight that you have to go back of you. Why isn't it answering me now? Well, they turned it a little bit too tight.
Yeah.
But that's worked for us too. And I'm telling you what, we use that and we love it.
Well,
and
you can guarantee it, every one of our investigations. We're huge on trigger objects. Even our grid lights, we've been lucky enough that they've been used as mag lights.
Yeah, we've had grid lights turn on and off, take questions.
We were just at Fairfield and we put it down the hallway. And I was like, all right, guys, like, I'm going to do a guess. You patients in this side, you patients on this side, turn off the grid lights first. And one started turning off and we're thinking they're going to win. Then the next thing you know, the left side turns off. She got a feeling. We went downstairs. We came back upstairs and the grid light that was facing forward was turned sideways. You know, like it's.
We had that happen to us. We had our grid light on and we're asking questions and our regular mag light was answering yes and no to us. And next thing you know, the grid light starts doing its own thing and moving, and where they're like, okay. And we kind of stomped our feet there by and everything else to see if we could, recreate it.
Yeah.
Nope.
And you were talking about Hinsdale, Residual Haunts, Jackie, we were talking about was Ski Manor. Mm-hmm. She's actually got a video posted. Everyone should go see. It's she's in the basement of the Hinsdale house with the grid light. And I believe it's a red one. And she has it, and she's getting mag light activity. I believe she's getting like cat ball activity. And you watch this grid light. She has it on like on cinder block, and the grid light in the middle of her session, while it's on, just completely turns sideways on live at the Hinsdale house. Like it was really cool. It was really phenomenal. But
I'm just glad you guys validated it for us, because a lot of people are like, they're like, oh, flashlights, that's bull. And
now, we love when we have our events, we put it in the guest hand. That way, when it turns on, we're like, you did that, not us. You did that.
We don't do. Go ahead.
I like to use multiple. I like to set multiple ones up. Like the greatest experience I had with the mag light was actually for me was at what's that place in Radford that we went to? St. Albans.
St. Albans.
I went to St. Albans one time and I set 3 mag lights down the bowling alley, and I was actually getting the spirits to turn each one of them on. I was like, turn the pink one on, bam. Turn the blue one on, bam. Turn the silver one on, bam. It knew exactly which ones, and I was like, how can you debunk that?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's where I'm going to. I know we don't really do home investigations. We've done 2, and they were just by request from somebody. We wouldn't, if somebody that we didn't know said, hey, could you come investigate? I don't think I would want to do that, but we had one, which was my daughter here, Gabriella, is her friend. And then another one was a friend too, that she has some hauntings going on in her house. And we went over, but we set up the flashlight in her house and it was responding. And she went, oh my God, there is no way you can debunk that. Because just like that, it was responding to what we was asking it. So I'm glad that, here we are. Good. I'm glad we found somebody else that can validate that what we've been saying, because I think people think we're crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it's just how they use them. It's the direct responses, like you said. Are they directly turning them on and off when you ask questions, and are they knowing the difference between the two, using multiple ones? Like the random turning on and off, I'm not,
Exactly.
I'll debunk it, but it's when you start seeing the direct responses and you're seeing the intelligent responses.
Yeah. As a paranormal investigator, what is what's just typical and what's very.
But it's the same thing with the apps and stuff that you use. Like we just said, sometimes the apps will spit out random words, but then sometimes it spits out things that make sense and correlate with how you're what you're investigating or where you're investigating. So I think it's the same with every paranormal piece of equipment.
Oh, absolutely. And too, you said you used bells at one time. We tried to get a bell to ring over at the jail, and nothing happened. And I also put flour, like an old Smitty cell. Right on the floor there. If we see freaking footprints going into that cell, then we got
that's awesome.
Yeah, there was
That is
something the very first night that we put it down. We can't verify because we don't know if somebody that walked and we didn't know, but they looked like almost like boot prints that would have been like on a warden or something. But there's no way that we can prove it or anything because we don't know if maybe somebody walked there that we
Yeah,
didn't know about or something. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So,
worth the
yeah.
camera shot right there.
yeah. We had a ball move at another investigation, but it was one of those, okay, we all saw it and we freaked out. And the camera was on it, but there was a back of a chair that blocked.
No, it's always
Oh.
rule of thumb. Always rule of thumb. Okay. Or when you get something so damn good and the camera glitches 1 second before it happens.
Yeah.
I swear it's that jolt of energy that just
They don't want
shuts
you to see
shit.
it.
Yeah.
I think they don't want you to.
We'll
record
bless you,
sometimes.
but not your viewers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Does anybody in the audience, have we seen any questions showing up here?
I think I've seen a few. We just got to scroll
Let's
up.
see. Gabriella, you want to scroll this because I will mess it up if I know me.
How
Because
far
I
you want me
believe
to
we
scroll
have
up?
had some questions pop up on the
Only
chat.
technology I know how to use is paranormal technology.
I know how to use it to a certain extent, but I don't like messing with it. And she gets picked on because one time she pressed a couple buttons and it all up. But I would rather have her scrolling.
Here's one.
Here's one, yep. Okay, Blossom Moonlight. This is a second
a
question.
second
Okay,
question.
yeah, right there, I
There's-
think, yep.
Hold on.
No problem.
Okay, did they experience any negative side effects after seeing that dark energy?
We had not after that particular instant, but from that particular location, me, Lindsay, Jackie Kurt from Residual Haunts, 2 other people, I believe, actually left that location and had a week. The following week was actually pretty horrible for everyone. We had
Yeah.
someone that almost drowned. I was very emotional. Like everything seemed to be going wrong and like very irritable and like it was like full of sorrow. Lindsay went through the same thing. And it was like after day 2 of all this negativity, everyone starts reaching out to each other like, hey, not to be weird, but do you notice how like bad things have been
Like,
lately?
are you okay? And then we all started talking like nobody was okay.
Yeah,
Like,
no one was okay.
And it wasn't after seeing that creature, but we had a
No.
night where we had like probably 100 people up at Crescent, and we had
it was
it was a
amazing.
crazy night. It was nonstop activity, and it was a lot of activity. Like we were having things like manifest in front of us. We were seeing like stuff in the ceiling floating away. Like it was a very intense, high energy night.
Yeah.
And then
all the
that-
investigators that
all
carried
the
on.
lead investigators were experiencing negative side effects like the week after.
Well, do you ever feel like you was in danger with any of that was there?
I don't say in danger, but I do say concerning, if that makes sense. Like, we're going to have to go ahead and do an extra cleansing or 2 or 3
Yeah.
Right.
to prevent for that step to ever come
Mhm.
closer. Because as a
People
paranormal
just trying to
investigator,
absorb your energy.
100%. That place would suck you dry. It was.
Wow.
I've seen people.
We
I've
had
seen-
people like we had ambulance called like twice in one night. People passing out.
Vomiting. I had to
Vomiting.
carry them to the parking lot. The moment they hit the parking lot, they were okay. Seeing people. There was one woman. God bless her. She came with her sisters. We lost her in a building. Lost like where she was. Found her like facing a file cabinet, like something out of Blair Witch.
I
And
don't
Oh
wanna
my
say- I don't
goodness.
want to say that she was possessed, but at the same time,
she was
I
not
don't have
herself.
I don't have an explanation for the way that she acted either. Like
Yeah.
she completely went nonverbal.
Took her out the building, and then remember
she-
she was.
She just kept staring back, and then when she would talk, she would just say, "She wants me." And her family was telling us that she wasn't on
It was
drugs
her
or
sisters,
anything.
nothing. Because
They were worried about her. They came to us and said, "We promise she didn't take anything. We don't know why she's acting like this." She at one point ripped off her backpack, and I thought that she was going to attack Angel. Like
Oh my
it,
goodness.
Yeah, because I was like, calm down,
it was
calm
really
down.
weird. And then after her sisters like removed her from it for a while, she came
came back,
too.
Apologizing, and not for nothing, this woman paid quite a bit of money to get there. She didn't survive an hour.
And
Oh
some
my
people didn't.
goodness.
Some people
Some
didn't.
people never made it past the first rotation.
Yeah,
when they
some
were
people
out.
really didn't, and that. So that's just, yeah. Were we in danger? No. Can energy have a hell of an effect on your body? And that's where you learn as a paranormal, investigator. You know yourself. You're your best tool. You know when to pull out. That
Mhm.
location absolutely took you to every tier of inner strength that you can have.
That's my clock in the background. So we're not
Not here
trying
now.
to sign you off or anything like that. That's my clock. Yeah, that had to been completely scary to see something like that, or like
I can't even
unnerving at
imagine.
least.
It's definitely like,
absolutely.
holy crap, what just
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we're gonna get the second part. Her second question here. Her second part is, what precautions and practices do they do to protect themselves on these investigations? Wishing them the best and safe investigations.
Thank
That's
you.
Blossom Moonlight too.
We cleanse ourselves.
Yeah.
Everyone believes in something different. I will never strike anyone down for what they believe, but we pray. We pray a lot. And we believe in our higher power, and we believe that we walk with him. And those are the types of precautions that we believe keeps us safe.
We sage, we burn
Yeah.
incenses.
Mhm.
We do. We don't provoke when we
No.
investigate,
Neither do we.
so we don't try
Not
to
at all.
attract
No.
that negative energy in the first place.
We do burn our chakra incenses in our house to keep everything level and pure.
And when we leave, whether it was a good investigation or a scary
Mhm.
investigation, either way, we always tell the spirits not to follow us. We
Yeah.
make
Thank
that
you,
very
please stay.
firm when
Yeah.
we say that.
This is your home. You are not allowed to follow us. We will come visit again. So now
Yeah.
has things followed. We've had experiences, and kind of it's like saying that if anyone told you any different, they're lying. That's like, I'm a carpenter. That's like me saying I've never hit my thumb with a hammer before.
Yeah.
Right.
It's what you do to fix it.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. We do the same thing too. And like you said, we don't provoke. We don't use Ouija boards. We don't do stuff like that because, like you said, most of these places they've already got that. Some of it negative energy. Like even the jail that we're working at. You figure there's those hangings and that there's suicides in there. You have that negative energy to begin with. Why would you want to try to
Okay.
enhance it by doing something stupid?
Right. Yeah.
It's
exactly.
disrespectful to the
The
spirits.
spirits,
It is.
Yeah.
they have feelings too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just want to treat them like they were like when they were alive. Like treat them with
Yeah.
respect, and they're gonna treat you back with respect most of the time. You know what I mean?
And that's what we tell our guests. The best way we can really put a lot of things are, if you go into someone's house and you act like an ass, you're gonna get an ass response. So we're trying to have a good night and be respectful. And if not, you could wait for everyone at the parking lot. So.
Well, from what I'm seeing of you both, you seem very genuine. You seem very wholesome and honest.
Thank you.
And I mean, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show because you see some of these people and they go out. I think they go out. They think it's just, hey, I'm going to have some fun, and they don't have the faintest idea what the heck they're doing. They're making themselves look like idiots. And it's nice to see the paranormal group such as yourself going in with that passion and saying, "Hey, we could be the one that captures the most phenomenal evidence to prove that hey, this does exist." And guys, please. Stop making jokes of it. What do you think of the people that come on? We had one night. So far, all of our responses has been phenomenal. But we had one come on one night, and they come on. They're like, you need to repent. What you're doing is demonic, and you're going to go to hell. And what do you think of the people that think the paranormal field is demonic and dabbling with the devil?
So we experienced this recently because we run the paranormal at the theater in Nanaglow, and we're also on the historical board. So we actually had board members that try to butt up against us and get it shut down because there was a woman that got very vocal in a board meeting one night, and she says, "I'm a Catholic, and I don't believe in that, and it's demonic." And she just went on and on about it, and I let her say what she had to say. I gave her her moment to get it all out, and I said, I'm not here to have a religious conversation with you. I have my beliefs and you have your beliefs. If you don't want to participate in it, that's fine. I'm not asking you to. This is what we believe and this is what we are doing.
Yeah.
And she kept going on. And then I just repeated myself again.
You gotta take
and
it
just
with
said,
a
I'm not
grain
going
of
to,
salt,
everyone has their beliefs. I'm not going to say that you're right and I'm wrong or vice versa. Like, I'm not going to have a power struggle with you. It's just, this is what I believe and that's what you believe. And if you don't want to follow me, if you don't want to do what I'm doing, that's fine. There's the door. Go do your own thing and I'm going to go do mine. That's,
And
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say that's a big problem right now we're seeing in the paranormal field is everything is you'll never hear me say it, the D word, and it's just me.
Right.
I'm like, it's energy. There's good and there's dark. There's light and there's dark. There's good. There's bad. With every positive, there's negative. Like it's all it is. It's it's.
But that's even in the Bible. You got the light, you got the dark, even in the Bible. So if they bring it up, and that was what's not interrupting you, that's what I was about to say. I try to tell these people that say that, you do realize that probably, I over exaggerated one time, said 99%, but I'm going to say probably a good 75% of the people that are paranormal investigators they're usually very religious in some way, so they do practice religion, not demonology, so
right.
I don't know, I get, I hate to say, but there's been some family that like they think that we should just stop and, we're dabbling with the devil.
You're going to get that. It's just basically, hey, this is my field. Stay in your field.
Yeah.
Stay in your field.
Exactly.
Exactly. There's a saying in the South. We say, "Bless your heart."
Yep. Exactly. But we're planning, and sometime in the spring we want to try to come up with a paracon ourselves. So hopefully, my son-in-law is supposed to be contacting you and about getting the booth set up for us. But maybe we can bump heads together and
rock and roll. Rock and roll. Absolutely.
Well, you guys are so nice. You were such a lovely, beautiful couple, and again, congratulations on your marriage.
Thank you. We are so happy. I joke around all the time and say that she is such a lucky girl, but I truthfully am the lucky guy.
Yeah, you guys, you were such a nice looking couple and very pleasurable. I'm so honored to have you on our show tonight.
It was a pleasure. I'm looking forward to this. I really drove home fast from football practice.
Oh.
We have four kids. I don't know how we do it, but it's paranormal investigation. Then we got football. We got travel football. Then we got soccer. We got a preschooler. We got another kid who loves trains and eating all the candy in the house. Like it's huge, So
I know we've been trying to get and go places ourselves, but with this new project that we have here, we've kind of put our investigating on the back burner. We had the one over there, but we didn't even get to the dungeon in the basement in our own building that we're doing over there. So
that's how it is. That's how it. When you're blessed to have the location, people think, oh, you get to do it all the time, and you're like, you will be surprised that sometimes we have to get like an hour in on a live in the middle of the day because we're busy. Yeah.
Right. Now, last question: since you both were tied in with the Crescent Sanatorium, you probably can debunk a lot of rumors about that. What do you know about its future? Now, the last I was reading, of course, it was on Facebook. You would not believe some of the stories that we're reading about the jail on Facebook. But the last rumor that I heard was that they were turning it into a military training camp. Do you know anything?
Yeah. So the people that we were leasing it off of, when their lease was evicted, there was another lease that came in with a group called the Military Preservation Group, and they were running like airsoft events and military training and stuff. They've recently also been evicted. And now there's a company in there called Lodestone. I don't know a lot about them, so I don't want to speak too much about them. What I do know is they also are doing some military training up there. But I've also seen a lot where they're announcing about a haunted house that they're doing, and that gentleman running the haunted house has been saying that they want to bring the paranormal back.
An
I
urban.
hope so.
Bring back, and he went on a video, Imaginarium Sanitarium.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, that's
what we're seeing. So I'm hoping that that's true.
Now, if they do reopen it for tours and investigations and they offer you to go back, would you go back?
100%.
100%. I would work there. I would
100%.
volunteer
Yeah,
there.
that's a-
I would
We
visit
devoted,
there.
yeah. That is like
If you do, keep us in mind. That's
course,
one of
of
my
course.
bucket list places.
Of course. And another thing too, like you guys, trust me, we all understand a busy life.
Mhm.
Lord knows, I don't know how the hell we have all this hair. And but if ever you guys are free, and if ever you guys, even if you guys just have an hour or two, couple hours, maybe we're in town at the theater, come on out, please. We would love just to at least.
Oh, I would
show you
love
everything.
to.
Seriously.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you so much. I would love to see that. I would definitely. Is there anything else that you want to, any updates with your channel, with your personal, anything like that you want the viewing audience to know about?
We greatly appreciate all the support that we've been receiving, and we are going to continue doing our best and giving all our viewers what they've been asking for, and continuing spreading the positivity, continuing going to all these different locations and just showing people that we can all coexist together without drama and just spread the love of unity and just keep things going forward, keep things going up. Dark Hollow Paranormal is gonna continue to climb. Not here for the numbers. We're not here for the money. We're not here for nothing. We're here
Just want to spread the love.
just to spread the
Yes.
love, and that's
Yeah.
really what we stand for. If there's anything we could be remembered for, is our genuine
I
positivity.
can see that. You guys, just having you on our show, I can see you're very, very, very genuine.
Thank you.
I'm sure that they agree.
Oh,
Is there
absolutely.
anything you guys want to ask?
I know Linda
there
has a
is
question.
one question that Linda has.
Okay, I guess there's another question for you here too. What is your must-have piece of equipment?
Must have.
And that's from Kiwi USA.
I'm not gonna lie.
The
I don't go anywhere without my mag light.
Exactly.
I don't go anywhere without my mag light.
For me, it's audio devices. I love to hear more about stuff. So for me, it's like the spirit box or the Phasma box or the spirit talk or something where I can actually hear a little bit more about their story.
Yeah, I like the EVP recorder. What was that?
I said, remember, you're your best tool.
Absolutely.
Senses. Go and sit in a hallway for 30 minutes, quiet, and take it all in.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that's better than any piece of equipment you can ever, and it's free.
Yeah.
That's true. Because yourself, you can get into some pretty high expenses with the equipment.
Trust me, we started building equipment.
We started building it.
And
Really?
and that's another thing. We are building REM pods and music boxes. My sweet wife builds portals. We are learning. Our current tech guy, Josh Hamer, he is working on a flux.
Oh, nice.
We have dabbled. This has been a great year. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Very good.
That is cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
We started building REM pods and music boxes out of little box cases, and we sold them at Penhurst Paracon in May. And then our tech guy on our team, Josh, went and bought a 3D printer right after that. So now we're actually starting to make a little bit more custom
K2
stuff.
holders. He made all the K2 holders for our wedding.
Well, you know what? Then I expect to see a business going up here soon.
Oh, we have
your equipment.
come out to Paracon, and you will see a whole mess of what.
I don't know if I'm going to be at your Paracon because it depends on what our schedule is over the jail. But my son-in-law and that should be. But I'll be there in spirit because you guys are freaking awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You have another. Blossom Midnight has another one. It says portals. What's that?
Ooh.
So a portal is something that you hook your spirit box to. It's really nothing more than an amp that's hooked to a noise gate guitar pedal and a reverb guitar pedal. And what that does is it filters out that white noise, that shh that you hear when you listen to the spirit box, and it helps the voices come through just a little bit more clear, and it just amplifies it a little bit better.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Can I ask, what's the running price on those normally? Because I know I want one of those.
I've seen people, it depends on how fancy you get with it. I've seen people sell them for like almost $1,000.
Wow.
I build like little tiny ones, like they're like real little.
We do
can,
everything
like, hold them up.
affordable for everybody.
You can like carry them around, and I sell them for like $200.
That's not bad.
And it's really just mostly the cost of material, but then like, you know, the time that it takes for me to put it together.
Right.
I try to make it affordable. I've seen people get crazy. Like I've seen people make that exact same one that I make, and they'll sell it for $500. And I'm like, ooh.
I mean, like we do stuff like that. We REM pods. You know, you get a REM pod for $189 on Ghost Stop. Not shooting down or shitting on Ghost Stop, but like you get a REM pod from us, $30.
Are you kidding me?
Music boxes. We'll sell a music box to you, $45, because we want you to come out.
If I told you what it costs to actually make a pod, you would probably pass out.
You would really.
It's not very expensive at all.
When you learn it, you realize that I could have 50 REM pods right now in my pocket with the amount that I have dropped, and we are bringing it to everyone. We're bringing it to all the viewers. We're bringing it to all the guests. We're bringing it to the world that, hey, we're not stingy. We're
going to have to make a date there to meet up sometime and get some good equipment off of you when I have a little extra of that green stuff.
It's here. Absolutely. It's here whenever. And we're, like I said, we're excited. We're blessed.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, you should be, you know. And like I said, I better see a shop there coming up here sometime soon.
I know we need to get a website up so they can actually get
I hear it. That's what I'm saying it too. It's like we hear all these things and people are like, "Oh my God, are you on this or that?" And I'm like, "Hey, we thought for the longest time we were regular Joe Schmoes, and we're finding out that we that, like I said, people actually know our name, and that we're still just cherishing that gift."
Yeah.
We are growing. We are growing, and you're going to see us in a lot of places.
Awesome. But you know what, too? Your reputation says it all, because just this interview here, we can say, it's like I said at the beginning, you're genuine, you're wholesome, you're honest, you know, so that in itself, you're going to bring a lot of people to you just from that. And to me, it's just been such a pleasure here having you guys on, and I will be very honored to have you back on again.
Of course, we're here to thank you all. This has been absolutely fun.
And we're looking forward to getting to the jail. I hope we can get that.
I know. We're going to get things straight.
It's starting to get booked up. Just keep on checking. Maybe we can work out a little deal here somehow coming up.
God bless. God bless. My backpack is full and ready.
I've seen the inside of it, but I've never investigated it. He's never seen the inside of it.
I've never. Not that jail. Just joking. Terrible joke. Well,
we'll be honored to have you there. We'll try to talk about something sometime and see. Right now we do have a lot of well, I can't say a lot because people are contacting me left and right. But I'm sure we'll figure something out. And I do definitely want to meet you guys again. Definitely.
Would love to. Yeah, I would love to.
But I know you guys probably have to get up early in the morning. We have things that we have to do tomorrow. So I'm going to have everybody here say thank you. Thank you.
This has been so wonderful. It's been a pleasure and a privilege getting to interview you two and getting to talk to you and hearing all about your experiences and stuff. This has just been absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Y'all are too kind.
Oh, well, no. You guys are just... It's so, I love talking to other paranormal groups that has that same type of passion that we have about it. And with you being what you're doing and being associated with Crescent, all the experience you have under your belt, all the places you've been, I'm telling you, you guys are phenomenal. You're just lovely people. And again, congratulations on your marriage, and I want to see that
Oh.
shop opened.
It makes me so
Thank
happy
you.
because I'm like, I always tell her, I look at her and I'm like, honey, when you started this, do you think this is what you'd even hear?
No.
She married an amazing love of her life, a paranormal investigator, and then now the world knows who Miss Lindsay is. They actually put us in a magazine one time, called us we're known as the lovebirds of the paranormal.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome.
I
That's
love
adorable.
that.
Yeah,
Can
we
we
were
have
in
that magazine somewhere?
Yeah,
Par-
paranormality.
Paranormality
Yeah.
Okay,
magazine.
I'll look it up. Definitely.
Yeah.
It was like it was
August edition of last year.
August edition of last year.
Yeah.
Well,
They
you
put
know
a
what,
whole
guys?
story,
Shoot
everything.
for the stars. You guys are awesome. I wish you guys all the best in the future. I hope you have all the success ever.
Thank you.
And you deserve it. You guys are just really super nice people. And
We're gonna
you know,
meet up. We're gonna meet up. That's so cool. Put us in a great mood. Dinner's gonna taste extra delicious tonight.
Okay, well, guys, I know everybody has a life here after this, so we have to let you go. And
Of course.
And-
Thank you.
I'm hoping that we'll be able to contact you in that sometime soon. So
We will.
we're going to let you
We will.
go. And you guys take care and much success too with that Unity Paracon coming up. I wish I could be there. If something changes, I will be. But you'll probably be seeing my son-in-law and my daughter there. So
Absolutely. It'd be beautiful.
Awesome.
okay, guys, take care. And thank you so very much for being part of our show.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Of
having
course.
us.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Get up here.
No. Well, do you want to say bye to the audience?
Okay, guys, I hope you all enjoyed our guests there tonight. They're just phenomenal. I'm telling you what, we're really kicking
They were
it, knocking it
blessed.
through
They
the
really
roof
were.
between our group on Tuesday and these people here are just.
They are so genuine.
How can you
tell.
not love them? I mean,
They're seriously the most genuine people I think we've
they're
had
just
on here
lovely,
so far.
lovely
They're
people.
Absolutely wonderful people.
So
I
with,
can't say
with
enough.
that, guys, thank all of you who I know some of you probably might have. I hopefully
He kind of reminds me of that Corey from Overnight
um,
a little
we'll
bit.
talk about that. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This live was so incredible, like the other one that we had. Our audience here, Kiwi, Blossom, Be Squared, all of our regulars. I didn't say Conscious tonight. She probably didn't know we was on. Yeah.
Yeah, we
she
can't
probably
thank
didn't
you
know.
guys enough for being here with us.
Our
and-
moderators, you guys are as awesome as ever. And with that being said, we're going to say good night. And till next time, stay spooky,
Stay
guys.
Spooky.
Bye.